As I sit here and work away on my brand new YouTube channel, I found a video where I am stopping in to pay my regards, I guess, to many family members who have made their transition before now. A brother when we were children, a sister a number of years ago, both of my parents, two very young nephews, and grandparents. And I just wanted to give a little bit of a preamble to the visit. If it's going to trigger you, don't watch the rest of the video. But I have come to believe that we are all here in our lifetimes, many lifetimes for some of us, I suppose, but numerous, merely to have experiences. Let's say on the other side of the veil, life is just so perfect, so beautiful. My mom was there. Yeah, I'll talk about that. It's another topic. I need to write all these topics down. So my mom visited twice, a couple of days before she made her transition, and she told the story about her visits. So, yeah, if it's that beautiful, if it's that elegant, then, life there must be lacking challenges. That's my guess. So I think every once in a while we just go, you know what? I'm kind of missing the challenges that I used to have in a lifetime. So I think I'm going to go down and have another lifetime. And so if we look at our whole life as nothing more than experiences that are neither good nor bad, because everything just is, then they only become a good experience or a bad experience because we painted them that way. So I have, over the last good number of years, stopped painting experiences. And I'll tell you some of them. One was in Mexico a year and a half ago, and I did not get flattened by the car. But I just made a decision. Is that an experience I would like to have again? It's quite like my super simple, successful decision-making system that I have taught all of my clients, which makes it so easy to make a decision and to follow through on the decision. So it's very similar. So I have an experience like not getting flattened by the car. Yeah, I'd like that to repeat, but I don't want the whole experience to repeat. And so I just ask myself, is that something? It's not a bad experience. It's just, is that an experience I'd like to have again? No. So there's my decision. So now I have to step into that. And, I just make a declaration. I tell God, I tell my inner being, that sort of thing. Now, if it's an experience where I say, wow, is that an experience I might ever like to have again? Yes. Okay, then what do I need to do to make that happen? And again, I put the call out to God because God knows it will happen again. So I have come to grips with death thanks to all of these experiences I've had, burying so many of my family members. And yeah, it's been tough each and every time, but it's just an experience. So if you're, how can I describe that? If you're suffering, if you're suffering because of someone who's no longer in your life physically, then, reach out to me. We can have a conversation. I helped a woman many years ago. My mom said to me, when my mom was still around, obviously, but she said to me, well, not obviously, because my mom still talks to me a lot. But at any rate, I was in her home. I was just starting my coaching business, and my mom asked if I would speak to this friend of hers, Muriel, whose son had disappeared. So it was presumed that he committed suicide, but there was no definitive answer from the police or anything, and no note, nothing. And his wife, Muriel's daughter-in-law, needed to move on, and with the boys, their sons, and anyway, So I did have a conversation with her, and we only talked for maybe an hour and a half. Well, the next time my mom saw them, the husband came over to my mom and gave her the biggest hug and said, "I have my wife back, thanks to your daughter. You tell that young lady thank you from me." Well, I did end up meeting them and invited them to a party at our home once too. And it just, yeah, it helped her accept. You never let go, I'm telling you. I still think of my brother all the time. I was 14 when he made his transition. And, it's just a part of life, but it's to let go of all the pain around it. The late, great Stephen Covey, when he was still alive, I heard him say that he believes that the pain we have around someone's death is based on regret. The regrets that we never did what we could have done, what we wanted to have done, and the regrets that we never received from that person, what we wanted to receive from them. And I remember one of my aunts, when not this grandfather, but another grandfather made his transition, and he was elderly and he'd been unwell for quite some time, and that was okay. And one of my aunts at his burial, at the church service, what do we call that, the funeral, we were out in the burial site, and she was talking fondly about him, and she called him Daddy. Now, he was not a great father in any way, nor husband. And I'd never heard her call him Daddy before, and never had I heard her say anything pleasant about him. Now, I loved him dearly because he was a fantastic grandfather and he was a fantastic great-grandfather. But I get that he was not a fantastic father. And here she is talking about him like she's just completely a different person. But she was dealing with the fact that she never got from him that relationship that she so wanted. And so she was taking it then. Maybe creating one that she was wanting to have, that she'd always wanted to have, and she was creating it anew right then. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I did notice it. And that was a very long time ago. And I'm just remembering it now. So, yeah, that's the pain. So says the late, great Stephen Covey, and I do believe it. That's the pain we have, is the regret, because I had so much pain when my brother made his transition. I just wanted to join him on that day. Back in the day when they used to lower the coffin into the hole. Yeah, tough. Anyway, so to get back onto a lighter note, I wanted to let you know what's following, and it's just a very quick little visit to my family members. But you know what? This is a part of my journey. Visiting them every time I go by, which isn't very frequently anymore, is a part of my journey. And recognizing them, remembering them, speaking about them, and sharing that with you. Maybe there's someone in your circle of influence. We have 100 people in our circle of influence. The people who influence us and people we influence. So maybe there's someone in there who is having a really tough time accepting that someone is no longer with them in the physical plane. So if I could be of any assistance to them, it would be my pleasure. And in the meantime, I'll see you next time. Well, I didn't think I would be videoing this, but I am. So I'm coming down from Montreal today. This is almost the last leg of the road. My mom would live at the end of this road and to the right and maybe a kilometer up to the left. My Aunt Dolly still lives from the corner up, turning to the left. So this is my father. Behind him is my nephew. And behind them is my brother, who made his transition when I was 14 and he was 17.
And beneath him is my mom. I don't think you're seeing her name there. There it is. And beside them is my stillborn nephew. And then if we go back up here, there's Lake on the back of my nephew's. That's his family name, his last name. And this is my father, as I said, and his brother. And then over here, not so far away, so this is my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather went much later than my grandmother, 25 years. This is my sister. Yeah, so we got a lot of people in here. I just stopped in to say hello, like I always do when I'm driving by.